Have you ever wanted something that has more space than a planner for you to write out your daily thoughts? Or maybe you have a diary for that, but you also want something to be a creative outlet for you? Well, a bullet journal is a really great way for you to fit all of those needs in one notebook. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you guys my top tips in my guide to starting a bullet journal and where most people tend to get stuck. So if you don't already know what a bullet journal is, it's an organizational system created by writer Carol. He also has a website and a book that talks more in depth about how to start bullet journaling. But in this video, I really want to talk more about the functionality and the emotional aspects of bullet journaling and talk about where I see a lot of people in the community tend to get stuck. So for me, a bullet journal is a combination of a planner, a diary, and a creative outlet. And when I say creative outlet, it doesn't mean that you have to decorate your bullet journal with all of these different colors. A creative outlet can be whatever it means for you. It can be as simple or as complex as you want it to be. Being able to decide how you want to lay out your journal and being able to create this book that suits you and yourself is your creative outlet. So the first tip in my guide to starting a bullet journal is to define your why. Now, this can sound really cliche, but having this answer is really going to help you with all of the following tips that I'm going to share in this video. There's definitely many reasons for why you can want to start a bullet journal, and there's no right or wrong answer. Some questions that you can ask yourself is, if this journal can solve one thing for me, what would I want that to be? Or another question you can ask yourself is, how can this journal make my life easier? For example, maybe you wanted to start bullet journaling to help you remember and keep track of all of your important life events, or maybe you want to use it to keep track of any of your personal or professional goals. Maybe it's just completely for fun and you just want to have a creative outlet for yourself. And that's the beauty of bullet journaling. The reason for you to get started can be as simple or as complex as you want it to be. But understanding why you've started bullet journaling is really going to help you in those moments where you're feeling stuck. It's really going to help you stay motivated, and it's also going to help you with the following tips that I'm going to share as well. Before we get into that, comment down below what made you started to get into bullet journaling. So the second tip I want to share in my guide to starting a bullet journal is to define what would be a success for you. So what I mean by defining your success is to think back about your why and think of the different pages that can help you achieve that goal. For example, for me, I use my bullet journal as a creative outlet and as a way for me to keep track of my personal goals. However, because I don't use my bullet journal as much to keep track of important life events, I don't make any calendar pages in my journal, and so I don't have to feel bad about not creating these pages that doesn't align with my why in the first place. So something that I commonly see in the community is people apologizing for doing something differently, or people apologizing for missing out a spread or not filling it completely. However, if these pages don't align with your why in the first place, then there's no reason for you to feel bad for doing things differently. Other people, including myself, can give you tips on how you can use your bullet journal. However, at the end of the day, that decision is ultimately up to you. And so you don't have to feel bad, or you don't have to measure yourself to other people's success. Your journal should definitely be a tool that is going to help you and help make your life easier. It's not supposed to be a chore or a burden to your life. So if you are noticing that you're starting to feel bad or guilty when it comes to not completing a page, or when it comes to not being able to keep up with your bullet journal, well, I'm here to tell you that it's completely okay for you to take a break. Your journal is going to be ready for you when you are ready for it. My next tip in my guide to starting a bullet journal is to start small. Something that I see a lot of people get stuck is that they get overwhelmed with having to be artsy or not being able to have all of the materials that you need for bullet journaling. However, you really don't need all of these fancy tools. Brush pens, washi tape, stickers, and printers, they're all optional. All you really need to start bullet journaling is really just a pen and a notebook. I know that for myself, when I wanted to start bullet journaling for the first time, I literally bought the cheapest book I can find on Amazon. And if you're curious whether you should spend a lot of money on buying a bullet journal, make sure to subscribe, because in my next video, I'm going to compare my Amazon notebook and my Archer and Olive notebook for bullet journaling so that you can see see the pros and cons of each journal. Starting small isn't just about the equipment for bullet journaling, but also the time that you want to dedicate to it. So you don't have to spend all of this time to try to make really complex spreads in your journal if you're not used to it yet. In the beginning, you can start small by creating really simple pages that doesn't take too long for you to create, just for you to be able to get comfortable with journaling and make it a part of your routine. So one of the pages that really helped me stay consistent with bullet journaling is having my one line a day or having a gratitude page in my journal. It literally takes less than 5 minutes to create, but it prompts me to fill out and use my journal at least for 5 minutes every single day. And because I really don't like having a blank line to destroy the aesthetic of this page, it really keeps me motivated to come back to my journal at the end of the night before I go to bed. So if you're feeling overwhelmed and stuck because you don't know how to create these complex pages or how to create complex themes for your journal, I'm here to tell you that it's completely okay for you to start small. And my next tip in my guide to starting a bullet journal is to make it special for you. Journaling can really be therapeutic, and it can have so much great benefits for your well-being and for your mental health. So set time aside for you to prioritize yourself, your goals, and your self-care, because honestly, you just truly deserve it. Making it special for you can mean setting time aside for you to listen to your favorite music and journal at the same time. It can also be setting your favorite candle and have this really nice relaxing time for you to journal. Or you can even splurge on really cute pens to get you in the mood. And I know I mentioned that having cute stationery is really not a necessity, but it's a really nice luxury, and for me, it really makes me more excited to start bullet journaling. Honestly guys, having a pen that just glides so smoothly on your paper is so life-changing. I know that for me, I get so addicted to that feeling, and sometimes I just want to keep on writing just so I can feel that pen glide smoothly on that paper. If you know what I'm talking about, give me a thumbs up. So those are just some quick examples for you to be able to make journaling a fun and special part of your day. So my next tip in my guide to starting a bullet journal is to make your journal fit your lifestyle instead of making your lifestyle fit your journal. So this tip is kind of a combination of my previous tips, but I really want to emphasize that your journal can be whatever you want it to be, and your journal should be there to help you make your life easier. And as things change in life, it's only going to be normal for your needs and your style to change as well. So feel free to remove or add any pages that feel more aligned to whatever it is that you're going through in your life. And if you enjoy making those pages, then that's enough value for you to keep creating it and to keep it in your journal. But if you feel like you don't enjoy creating certain pages, or you feel like it's not serving you any purpose or any value, then you don't have to feel any obligation to continue creating them. Also, something I commonly see in the community is people feeling anxious or hesitant to start bullet journaling because they feel like they're not artsy enough. And then I would see a handful of people going back to that comment and telling them how originally bullet journaling isn't supposed to be artistic at all, and that you should just focus on having a simple, effective journal. But I really want to mention that just because it's artistic doesn't mean that it's going to lose its functionality at all. Just because writer Carol shared his tips on how he wants his bullet journal, he also talks about how you should modify it to fit your life. And if that means being artistic for you, then feel free to make your journal as colorful and as artistic as you want it to be. And again, a bullet journal is supposed to be a tool that is helping you in your life. So go back to the question and ask yourself, how can this journal make my life easier? When you realize the certain pages that can help you achieve making your life easier, you'll see that you're gonna make your journal fit your lifestyle instead of having to create a lifestyle around your journal. And now that you know how to start a bullet journal that is aligned to your needs, make sure to subscribe, because in my next video, I'm going to be comparing my Amazon journal to my Archer and Olive journal, so you can have all of the pros and cons for you to decide which journal would be the best one for you. And remember, if you can imagine it, you have everything in you to pursue it.